Hey, yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to yet another Red live stream, and a big one, a big Saturday showdown today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited about that, but I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Now, of course, if you're a regular, you know the drill, you know what's coming next, but if you're new, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, we do attendance, a little roll call, ladies and gentlemen. So, if you are a sentient human being and you can hear the words coming out of my face and into your headphones or whatever you're listening to, please say something in the chat. Whatever your heart is desiring. Just say it in the chat. That's right, check in. Make sure your presence is known. Left and right, around the world. There we go, folks. There we go. There's the people checking in. Let's go. Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a glorious Saturday. We have a lot to talk about today. But let me cut over to the main screen so you can see my face in all its glory. Hope you... Oh, sevens in the chat immediately! Ladies and gentlemen, Rocket coming in hot with the 50 gifted memberships. Oh, sevens immediately. Thank you very much, Rocket. You know, in yesterday's stream, I was talking about memberships and how close we are to 1,000. And I don't know, they don't give you an actual daily count. It's more like 2 days behind, but I would imagine we're very close now. That's for sure. But thank you so much for the 50 gifted memberships, Rocket. Until I get that official congratulations from YouTube, I won't count my eggs before they hatch in that regard. But thank you very much, dude. Heck of a way to start things off here on Saturday. Thank you, thank you. And also, we got 2 from Emotionless Catastrophe saying, don't worry, I've got your back. Hashtag no secret girlfriend. I heard there was some shenanigans with that. We'll talk about that whole thing in a second, don't worry. The very, very weird comments some people have made about me and my girlfriend over here. Of course, of course.
I was demoted.
She was demoted. She's been misbehaving. Therefore, demoted. Yo, and Lich Emperor with the 5 as well, saying for Lizard. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We got 2 things going on today. Number 1, a big super chat goal. It's for an epic Lizard moment. What that looks like, we'll find out together. But it just felt right. And second of all, it's Saturday, so you know what that means. It's a Saturday showdown. Today, stepping into the Thunderdome, we have Marin Kitagawa, last week's winner, who beat out Tatsumaki by a landslide, versus a new contender, and one that might look a bit familiar. It's Nico Yazawa. So if you want to participate in this showdown, make sure you vote with your super chats. May the best waifu win. This is the biggest showdown, I think, yet, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, there is that. And then we got 250 DOP from Malin saying, hi Rev, how are you and your girlfriend doing according to a Twitter user, Nico Yazawa? Yeah, me and my wife, now demoted girlfriend, are doing very well. I appreciate the dono. And the first one on the board for Nico. Let me make sure I get the right amount. There we go. So let me write these. We got Maureen. I got the scratch paper out, ladies and gentlemen. We're ready to roll. Let's see where this goes. That's 425 for Nico. First one on the board, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, today we're going to talk about lots of stuff. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about some Stellar Blade stuff again. Because one of the anti-censorship people is very upset about this game and throwing out their values to try to get this game censored, which is quite hilarious. They're crashing out hard. We're also going to look at the Kirsha stuff that I talked about in the first vidya for today. And then probably going to talk about some of the marathon stuff and some ex-Bungie employees not having a very good day. And we're going to talk about Netflix's Avatar live action and the abysmal looks we're having at it. So yes, lots on the docket. If Nico wins, will Rev sing it out? We'll have to wait and see. Also, I'm just saying, based on the result here, it could lead to a very funny showdown next week or the following week or whenever it happens. But Obi-Wan Shinobi with a 5 saying, here's 5 for Straub, helping her get promoted back to wife as soon as possible. That is a very nice gesture.
Thank you.
She's gonna need it.
I'm gonna need it. What's that supposed to mean?
You gotta climb your way back into the rankings. I do a point system now.
Oh no.
You need 10 more points to get back to wife status. I'm sorry. It's just, them's the rules.
I feel unloved.
I saw from Chibi this morning that the petition against youthful characters still has around 70, yet the new one made to keep youthful characters like Eevee around has over 4,000. I'm not surprised. But we'll talk about that petition, or at least the anti one, at some point for sure. And then Phantom with the 10 saying, gotta give it to Marin. Alright. First one on the board for Marin Kitagawa, the returning champion. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll love to see it. No, Phantom, you're the chosen one. Listen, the guy has a preference in waifu, and he's showing support. I can't knock anyone for having preferences. No. What's up, fellas? What I miss? I'm chilling on a road trip right now. Hope you're enjoying that. Not much. We just started. We're getting ready to go into all the stuff today, and it's going to be a good time. Yo, in Black Wolf with the 5, saying 4 to Marin, 1 to Nico. I'll accept it. We allow split donations here in this Thunderdome, if you will. But Marin's off to a start? Oh, splitting is allowed, Gabe. Huh?
Said, where's the Nico love?
Yeah, guys, what? Where's the Nico love? Marin's got this in the bag. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Not even YouTube loves you, Straub. They don't have a strawberry emoji?
Well, that's hurtful.
I thought they did.
I mean, there's a strawberry emoji on, like, iOS.
Well.
Yeah, there is.
Apparently there is.
Right there.
That's right. There it is. If Marin wins, Rev has to change model. The stakes are getting high, ladies and gentlemen. See, there's the strawberries. Straub is loved, even by YouTube. Isn't that great? Beautiful. But we'll get started here in 1 second. So let me make sure everything's up and running here. And then we will talk about the first thing. But how are you guys doing on this glorious Saturday? Any plans for the weekend? I would love to know what the Revlings are doing out in the universe, out there in the real world. Doing great things, I'm sure. As per usual. Just like Gabe here with a 5 saying, you know what? I want LOL. Don't know both of these waifus, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna go with Phantom Marin. It is. That is 5 more on the board for Marin Kitagawa.
Do we have plans?
Tomorrow we're just gonna chill. We gotta figure out a movie.
Oh, yeah.
Going up to Niagara Falls next weekend. That's very fun. That's a great place. Then we got 5 more from Phantom saying putting in this on for Nani. His pick. Okay. Nani, your pick. That's a pretty based decision right there. Giving a super chat and letting someone else decide. And it goes to Nico. 5 to Nico Yazawa right there.
Chat, these are his options for tomorrow.
Oh, jeez.
We can either watch Toy Story 5 or Supergirl. Which one do you want to watch?
Are you asking chat?
No, I'm asking you.
Probably Toy Story.
We're gonna
Chad,
watch both
what would you
eventually.
prefer, Supergirl or Toy Story 5?
We're gonna watch both eventually.
You have influence here. Yo, and Gabe with a 2 saying I wanted the desu. There we go. There we go, folks. You got your D word for the day. Yo, and Z-Man with the big $20 super chat saying, hey Rev, how's it going? And Straub just messed up. Now I've joined her YouTube channel. Now there's nothing that can stop me from spamming you both with my money. Oh, geez, don't do that. Also, if you can't put this on Straub, then put it on Marin.
Oh.
Well, that is 20 more for Marin Kitagawa. Nico Yazawa fans, or people who like anything that looks like Nico, what is going on here? You're falling behind quick. Don't you love me? I mean, Nico.
I knew what your chat would say. The truth is,
Everyone's saying Toy Story 5.
The truth is, I want to see both of them, so we're gonna end up seeing both of them.
Well, in case there is something that prevents us from going, there's a national shutdown of theaters or something, we should go to Toy Story first. So at least we saw the good one. That's right. Yo, Gold Warrior, thank you for the 4-month Giga Reveling membership, saying, Rev and Straw, my favorite YouTube couple. God bless you both. Well, I appreciate it. It's very sweet. And God bless you as well. And Z-Man with the additional 5 saying, go Toy Story Man. You're going to end up losing brain cells with Supergirl. Also, more for Marin. It's 5 more right there. An emotionless catastrophe with another 5 saying, I like the serious expression of Nico. For Nico, monthly Take My Money initiative is limited. Also, Supergirl, question mark. Okay. We are going to see, and also I think it is fair, since I've talked about it, that we will actually go and give it a chance.
Yeah, and also, we liked the actress in the other show we watched together.
Oh.
In Sirens.
Yes. Well, no one's
her a
saying
lot.
she's a bad actress.
Okay.
It's just the story doesn't look very good.
Well, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
You know? Yo, and Corbin with the big $20 super chat saying, Straw point bonus to boost her back to wife status and also to cast her own votes in the showdown, assuming a 1-to-1 dollar point ratio. An apology for my great attacks during the Desu Demon Time War. You know, you were a brave soldier. I do remember that. So your choice.
Nico.
20 for Nico.
Nico.
Straub. That was worth $20 right there.
There you go.
I don't know if I want to do that ever again. I've done it enough times. Maybe she'll do it for me if you guys are greasing the wheels enough like that.
If Nico wins, I'll do it again.
There you go. There you go.
That entices anyone.
Millie Alcock is a fine Supergirl, but she was given a poo-poo script to work with.
I've
yes.
also heard that.
Yes. That is the main takeaway.
I've also heard the lighting apparently was bad.
Yes, it's
which
like very...
Which I will say that's a pet peeve of mine, is dark movies.
And I've heard the action sequences are really brutal.
But we will see.
And Z-Man with another 5 saying, if it were you, Rev, then I'd put it all on you, but she is a pretender. A false idol. More for Marin. Okay, I can respect that. I am the original. Very cultured pick. 5 more for Marin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to a very good start on the Saturday Showdown. Let me get all the usual stuff out of the way. Of course, the Saturday Showdown, Marin Kitagawa versus Nico Yazawa. Vote with your super chats. Also, while you're here, being a base Giga Chad, make sure to like the stream, sub if you're not already. Feel free to join up in the memberships, super chat. And again, if you want to vote on this showdown, vote with your super chat message. And we'll do a tally in, I'd say, like 15-ish minutes or so. And we'll do some tallies throughout the stream. Yeah. But we'll talk about a Stellar Blade situation first. It is a very messy one. Yes, there's still Stellar Blade stuff to talk about. Yo! Cooj with the $20 super chat, the big old orange, saying work is a pain. Also for the 7-year profile picture. That's got to be towards the YouTube profile picture. That's Nico, big time right there. There we go. Wait, unless it was yours. It is not. I was going to say, wait a second. Just wanted to double check. Thank you very much for the $20 super chat. And then, Winguild with the 10 saying, Marin, could you send 5 back? I don't have change for a 5. No, this is all going towards Marin. Your full 10. That's right. It's all heading that way. Thank you very much for the 10. All right, one more minute and we will start. On the drama. The drammer. Best I can do is lizard. True. That's the best I can do too. That's the best anyone can do. Is a little lizard moment. That's right. But it's looking pretty even. Pretty even Steven at the moment. Good stuff. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But you never know which way the wind is going to blow.
How does that look?
It looks great. Alright, we're booking Toy Story 5, guys.
I love a little matinee.
Mm-hmm. What if Rev was secretly a lizard this whole time? Ban that guy. Get him out. He knows too much. He knows too much. We need to cancel Collective Shout before they cancel everything we like. I mean, unfortunately, people are kind of doing the work for them, as we'll see with this first segment right here. Mm-hmm. They're booked.
Yay!
Let's go! And we will give the full breakdown next week, for sure.
Yeah.
I like our little movie reviews.
I should start a movie review channel.
You should. I think you would have a lot more fun with that.
I think I would too, although, I don't know, people get just as like...
People do get very worked up.
People get very worked up about...
It's true.
...entertainment. And
They
I
do.
feel like my audience doesn't like a lot of my takes.
Well, because you're honest.
It's
That's
also
the thing.
okay to like different things. Not everyone's going
No.
to like the same movie.
No, it's not okay to like different things if it's not my thing. How dare you? Yo, and Phantom with the $10 super chat saying, Camelot just messaged me. He is going to use my video as a part of his intro. I told him go for it. That's awesome, dude.
Wow.
The video is making the
It's
rounds.
getting up there in the world.
That's right. Well, congratulations on that. I love to hear that. The video. That's good stuff. All right.
I did love Masters of the Universe, though. We both loved that. You guys should definitely watch. Is that still in theaters?
It should be.
I think it is.
It's definitely around some.
You guys should watch it if you never went and saw it. It was good.
Okay, well, we're going to get into the first story here, but of course you can still do your super chats, and after we cover this, we will get right into them and do a tally of where we're at. The Versus series. Marin versus Nico. Catch the fever. Is that the phrase we're going to use from now on?
You're a loser.
Catch the fever. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, somehow there is more drama involving Stellar Blade. It seems like a daily thing at this point. But what we're going to talk about today is kind of interesting. It is the anti-censorship people joining in on the brigade to censor this game because it is upsetting their delicate sensibilities. And we're going to witness one of the greatest crash outs, a multi-week crash out by one user in particular, over the design of Eevee. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we have seen the usual suspects, the woke people, the terminally online, get very upset about this character's design, saying all kinds of slanderous headcanon about this character, its developers, and anyone who enjoys it. But we've witnessed one person in particular, this Yorch Torch individual on Twitter, basically tank whatever credibility they had by being completely brain broken over this character. Someone who claims to be anti-censorship, someone who is a big defender of Stellar Blade, but when it came to Eevee, they are very upset. So here's the user in particular. I've seen this guy pop up on my timeline a couple of times, and I don't think I've ever seen a good take, but something about Eevee has really gotten under this guy's skin. Okay, one thing is clear, he loves Eve. Very clearly. We're going to see multiple rounds of posts gushing over Eve, okay? Here's one saying, Eve, you'll always be a symbol of beauty and elegance, never to be replaced, forever to be honored. I hope she sees this, bro. That's all I can say. But of course, when it comes to Eevee, they have a very different reaction, and it's not a good one. There is a series, this is tweet one out of many, where they are crashing out around June 6th and on about Eevee. First post, sign of a weak man. Prefers to play whatever this is than Eve. Next one, is this accurate? Rejects modernity. Embrace tradition. Here's the next one. Can you spot the difference? The standard. The downgrade. Okay. Here's another one. Lots of questions. Is this true? God of War Law-Fae fans talking about Fae. Eevee fans talking about Eevee. So I guess we're giving points to fans of Fae for God of War Law-Fae to own the Eevee fans? I don't really understand. But here's another question. What happened to tomboys in games? Then, now. I'm sorry, you're going to have to explain how Eevee is a bad representation of tomboys. That's very confusing. I'm not really sure what the gripe here is, but another question. What happened to men? Men in 2010, I'm playing God of War 3, Poseidon, Hades, tonight. You'll learn fear. Men in 2026, Eevee, I want my Eevee. If you don't agree, you're sexist and racist. Wow.
You could have done a better impression.
First of all, what happened to men? I think this post is what happened to men, if we have to have any sort of an answer. But wait, there's another question. Is this true? Men who honor and respect Eve. Boys who simp for Eevee. Which, this meme doesn't even make sense because, like, where the men? Who's the men? it's just pictures of them. Like, you were supposed to do like a Wojak or something on the one side. Like, I don't understand, but, you know, saying anyone is simping for Eevee as an insult is wild. When he has posts like this about Eve, saying, starting today, I'll be posting a message appreciating Eve every day. May it remind players everywhere of what she represents. A celebration of beauty, a stand against censorship, a symbol that united us under a common cause. Never forget Eve, our queen. Again, buddy, I hope she notices this. This is brutal. But he started losing a lot of followers. And to cope, he says, I don't want followers who find this character attractive. Okay, well, line in the sand here. This guy has gone 10 toes down. He does not like Eevee. Okay, well, he's fine with losing followers until he's not. I lost over 150 followers in the last 72 hours just because I criticized their childlike doll. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Please keep your headcanon to yourself. The vast majority of them were men. No wonder the West is collapsing. Guys, that's what I was thinking. When I saw all of the people appreciating Eevee, I said, this is the collapse of the West. That was my first thought, so I have to appreciate the insight here, taking a firm stand. But he's not done. AAA is no longer building games for straight, normal men. Men don't want to play as an uglified female protagonist in God of War. Men don't want to play as an androgynous child in Stellar Blade. Hold on a second, buddy. An androgynous child? If you're looking at Eevee and you're thinking of androgynous children, there's no helping you at this point. That is complete and utter projection on levels that I can't really fathom. Like, I've seen people saying, oh, she looks like a 12-year-old girl. Now an androgynous child? We're going the next level, I guess. But it's very funny because this person does a lot of defending for Shift Up and clearly loves Eve. But let's look at the CEO of Shift Up and what they've been doing. They've been reposting art like this, which, if you go to the translated version, it's mocking people with Eevee showing off her curves and saying, I still look like a kid to you. He also recently reposted many different cosplayers, pulling almost a 1-to-1 comparison with the character. Once again, disproving this whole narrative that she looks like a literal child. And also, when it comes to Eve, this guy I know was there for all the outrage over Eve, where countless people were saying that Eve has the face of a child. She was the problematic character for that time. It's just very ironic to now do the same thing the antis were doing when it comes to Eevee. But of course, the hypocrisy knows no ends. A different tweet saying, how to fix Western gaming. Design for the male gaze. With characters from Marvel Rivals, of course, in swimsuits. But then, not much after, saying, I have a question for all the faux anti-woke out there. Are you really here for games, the craft, the creative process, the case studies, the commercial successes, the gameplay mechanics, or are you here just for the goon bait? Like, you were just cheering that on 2 seconds ago, but they continue on with their warpath towards Eevee, saying, I won't be a pawn in the war that Shift Up started. They wanted their Eevee. They were smug about their Eevee. Now it's their responsibility to deal with the fallouts and fix the mess they created. Ah, yes, the mess they created. Well, it seems like when it comes to things they have to deal with, it's you. Because this guy has now joined in. The anti-censorship guy has joined in on the petition to try to get this game banned by payment processors, saying this. The petition to protect against the sexualization of childlike characters is well on its way to 100 signatures. Shift Up made a terrible mistake by dividing the Stellar Blade fanbase and replacing Eve with an androgynous, clearly underage character. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, anti-censorship, is supporting a petition trying to get payment processors to ban Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. The anti-censorship guy. Wouldn't you know it? But of course, to clarify, whoa, everyone knows I'm against reporting games to payment processors. My brother, you're literally doing that. But in the case of Stellar Blade Blood Rain, Shift Up is the sole responsible for this whole Eevee debacle. Its CEO was all cocky reposting owns. Victory laps always come with a bill. Always. Yeah, the bill is having to deal with people like you biting at their ankles. It's very annoying. But yeah, that's actually crazy. Like full-on trader mode, going from anti-censorship to literally begging payment processors to ban a sequel of a game you have defended for really years at this point. But of course, many people are criticizing this, saying, you literally made a post saying, I'm for censorship, and you're absolutely right. I think people asking for censorship should be censored. It's just basic hygiene. People have more freedom when the likes of you get what they try to make for others. And he would reply, quoting it, saying, the faux anti-woke prefer spending their time fighting me rather than confronting the payment processors they're supposed to be angry with. That's how easily distracted and emotionally incontinent they are. No wonder no one takes the woke light seriously. This has got to be a psyop at this point. It's got to be a psyop, ladies and gentlemen. This person is basically trying to work with payment processors and then saying, whoa, why are you mad at me? You should be mad at the payment processors I'm trying to work with. Very strange tweet. And also woke lights. What are we talking about? But of course, we've reached that part of the crash out cycle where we're flexing. We're flexing and self-promoting. Under one of the tweets complaining about Eevee, tired of censorship ruining your games? Join 550 plus investors and players getting business cases of great games, the design principles behind hits, the playbook on how to fix modern gaming with, I guess, a link to one of their pages. Amazing. I have absolutely no clue why anyone would even consider what this guy's doing. In fact, my free advice is to do the opposite of whatever this guy's doing, because everything he's doing goes against the grain of success here. But during this whole debacle, he's now flexing his numbers. The faux anti-woke last week tried to bait me, tried to mock me, tried to expose me, all because I had a non-conforming opinion. But I just had one of my best pay periods. My impressions are through the roof and my follows keep growing. What am I doing? Right. And look at that, guys. Big impressions on Twitter.com. It was all worth it. It was all worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, to give you an idea, that number of impressions, maybe $100. All this, the constant tweeting, the constant probably rage baiting, all for some impressions on Twitter, literally for some Elon scraps. Diabolical. I'd rather work in a sweatshop than be some blue checkmark power farmer trying to get below minimum wage, spending all day whining on Twitter. It cannot be worth it. But of course, there's also a flex of subscribers. Now, I'm assuming this has to be from Twitter, right? You see, total subscribers, 551, which would be astonishing, right? Like, even super popular and active accounts might have single-digit number of subscribers if they even have that feature turned on, right? Nobody wants to subscribe to people's Twitter pages. That never happens. So for this random guy to claim he has 551 total subscribers on what, 15,000 followers, and the average post getting around 100 likes, full of it, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, you can see the public number. It says 3. Not 551. It says 3. Like, unless I'm missing something profound here, did he edit that screenshot to make it look like he got a massive growth in subscribers when in reality he has 3?
Go back.
Right here. A 6,000% increase. But they all left within a few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You know, you get some, you lose some. You know, sometimes it's the quick success that leaves the quickest, I guess. But looks pretty bad from my angle here. But then, oh, don't you dare, guys, don't you dare donate on any streams, including this one, talking about this guy, because someone on a different stream donated a super chat saying, have you mentioned Yorch's bad takes on Blood Rain? And Yorch the Torch, he wasn't too happy about it, saying, I'm the best business proposition the faux anti-woke ever had. Here's someone paying Jay $3 just to talk to me. One person spends money because I'm interesting. The other takes it because discussing my account is profitable. But that's fine. Keep ignoring my accounts. That's insane. Guys, please do not do anything like that. Do not try to profit or give money in his name. That is very uncalled for. Okay, he'll allow it for this one instance right here, but never again, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, someone points out everything that's happened. A little snapshot saying barely 3 months apart, credibility lost, mindset no mind, just post, philosophy, hypocrisy, tactic, rage bait for money, gamer status, fraudulent. The woke and anti-woke agree that this is a grifter account. He just wants your retweets. And you know what? It's a rare time where you can actually say that, well, grifting is on the table, because if you're flexing numbers after rage baiting for weeks and weeks and weeks, and these are Twitter numbers, like, it's pretty abysmal, right? It seems like you're only doing it for impressions, which is painful. But he responded to this whole thing saying, Yorch is no longer giving me my goon bait. He's a grifter. He's pro-censorship. Guys, come on. Gaming deserves smarter conversations. No one is going to take us seriously if all we want is to slap characters with oversized assets into games. Beauty and taste is better than vulgarity. I'm sorry. You're still that mad about this? This is vulgarity? Ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely insane. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick, because I really haven't seen a crash out like this in quite some time. I mean, an anti-censorship person not only advocating for censorship, but even trying to get payment processors involved while saying, I'm not getting payment processors involved and I'm not pro-censorship. The hypocrisy is absolutely insane, ladies and gentlemen. But what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? We need some 07s in the chat for the Gold Recluse with the 10 gifted memberships. AOW gifter. Easy dodge. Skylers, your time is coming. Mark this down. Your time is coming, bud. But thank you very much for the 10 gifted the Gold Recluse. The Gold Recluse. It is much appreciated, and congrats on the memberships. A couple of people in the chat got hit. What's the score? I will start reading some of these donations, and after that I will do a tally. Thank you for asking. We got Genji with the 5 saying, get Straub a McChicken and get yourself a 4-piece nugget. Why do I get the 4-piece? This isn't fair. Well, thank you very much, Genji.
You always get a 10-piece.
I get it. I want a 10-piece. Can you even get a 10-piece with 5 anymore? Maybe. Maybe.
With what?
With $5. Yeah.
No.
No?
I don't think. Let me check.
In this economy?
What are we doing for dinner?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
I'm hungry.
Yo, in retro with the 10 saying, "Sup, Rev, frequent viewer of the content. All I can say to sum up this BS with these activists going after Evie is evil will always hate true beauty, like the evil queen hating Snow White minus Rachel Zegler." That is right. They really do hate seeing a woman shine. That's right. Evie just looks great. And the almost like psychosis people feel over Evie is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
10-piece nugget is $5.79.
We're cooked. We're cooked as a society, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Goodness. Running the train with a 5 saying, "This guy is a loser." Shh. Don't tell him. That's 5 more that he has produced for others. It's actually quite a service. Inspector with a 5 saying, "Notice if you watch every Michael Jackson music video, he hires beautiful women, but Sony makes women like Spider-Man 2 MJ and Kratos wife design." You know, it just makes no sense. I say it all the time. I know it gets like redundant, but it's like, don't these people want to make money? Why are they immune to money? I just don't get it. I literally don't get it. Maybe there's nothing to get. Maybe they're just that dumb. But anyways, Luke with the $20 super chat, the big old orange, saying, "As a professional faux anti-woke, YouTube banned all the other funny words, understandable. Man, donating this in Yorch's honor. Also, Marin, P.S. Can I get a lizard because Straub didn't have one on her stream?" I got you, buddy. I gotta get the good lizard. The other one's a little too quiet. There you go. Thank you very much for the 20, and that's 20 more for Marin. Nico stands. She needs your help. She needs your help. What was that? Was that a gust of wind or something? What's going on? Evie is a 7 out of 10. She needs longer hair. I have seen the longer hair versions. It is good. I won't lie. But I do appreciate a little tomboy supremacy. It's an underutilized category with designs. Yo, the gold recluse with the 10 saying, "Oops, sorry, Yorch. My finger slipped again. Whoopsie doodle." Thank you very much. This is kind of a Keel moment. That was probably one of the funniest moments in our live streams. If you were there, you remember Keel. An individual named Keel called all of our community a bunch of brainwashed cultists who fling money at me because they're in a cult. And well, you guys proved you were a very loyal cult. I do remember that. That was a landslide. Okay. Tomboy supremacy forever. Yo, an intimidator with a 5 saying, "Hey, Rev and Straub. How's your weekend so far? Got any plans for the summer yet besides going to a friend's place for the 4th? I've got 2 cons planned for now." That's very good. Enjoy those cons. And for the weekend, I think tomorrow we're just going to hang out, have a little day off, and go to Mass, get some brunch, and we're going to see Toy Story 5. And then for the summer, I don't know. We got to get some more vitamin D, more sunlight. Because that's probably for the best, right? Yo, and Skylers with a 2 saying, "Did you see the Leave Evie the Same petition?" Yes, I saw that it has I think 4,000 signatures at this point, which is great. Little counter narrative going on. I'm not brainwashed. My brain is filthy. So true, Sea of Whiskey. So true. But what else do we got here? Yo, Emotionless Catastrophe with the Giga Revling membership. I appreciate that very much. Welcome in. Welcome to the squad. Then we got Benjamin But the two saying, have you watched the new Shoe on Head video yet? I have not watched it. I was thinking we could watch it together on Monday. That might be a fun stream. I saw what it's about. It's about primarily the Carmelo Anthony stuff, so it'll definitely be very good. We should watch it together on stream. I think that'd be the way to do it. Yo, and Kev, PhD, with a 5, saying, good evening to Rev and his girlfriend. Yeah. You know, she's climbing back in the ranks. She'll get there. Don't worry. She'll be promoted back to wife. Phantom with the 5, saying, you and Straub make a great couple. When are you getting married? Listen. We're still married. She just got demoted by a Twitter user who was mad about us. That's all. Right? But thank you very much for the 5, Phantom. And a motionless catastrophe with the 5 saying, helping you out. I mean, Nico! Found Colt pocket change in my bank. There goes that cheeseburger. It's yours now, Master Rev and Mistress Straub. Alright, 5 more for Nico. We got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you guys for all your supers. Already 25 out of 30 on the daily super chat goal for today. That's pretty impressive. Not even halfway through the stream. And then, W incel couple. Yes, we are the most powerful incel couple for sure, without a doubt. But let's see here. What do we want to talk about next? Do you guys want to talk about the Kirsha stuff from earlier, people crashing out about her and me and Straub? Or do you want to talk about some Bungie employees having a very bad day? I'll leave it up to the people. But while you think about what you want, I'm going to do a little tally here. And for those just joining, today's Saturday Showdown is Marin Kitagawa versus Nico Yazawa. Vote with your super chats. May your best waifu win. It is extremely important that you don't disappoint your waifu. Every super chat counts. Let's see here. Okay, Marin is tallied up, and Nico okay. The math has been mathed. Let's update Marin Kitagawa on our first tally of the day. Okay, lots about Bungie. We'll talk about Bungie next. You guys got it. It's a very close one, guys. Marin is at $79. The reigning champion is in the lead, but not by too much. Nico is at $60.25. A difference of less than $19. Ladies and gentlemen. I'm waiting for someone to do a dono bomb. Listen. It might happen, it might not. But it's a tight ball game right now. How dare you, Rev, Marin or Nico with one? Which one should I choose? Listen, it's meant to be hard. We are like pruning the waifus here. It's breaking down and getting more and more high quality every time. That's right. But that is the standings for right now. Wait, by the way, the best part of the Yorch stuff is he hasn't even played Stellar Blade. He even called Lily Lucy. Makes sense. Adds up. Adds up. An $18.75 difference. Well, we'll talk about some more stuff for, I would say, like 20 minutes, and then we'll do another tally and update the score of the super chats for sure. Goodness. Yo, C of Whiskey with the perfect amount. The $18.75 for Nico. This donation amount has no particular significance. It was all just a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. It just so happens to tie it up. But thank you very much for the $18.75. We got a tie until the next tally. We'll see where it goes from here. But let me pull up the Bungie stuff and then we'll get right into it. You know me, just gotta check the tabs. Although I will say, fingers crossed, my computer's been running a little bit better. But that's the next big thing. We've been upgrading all kinds of parts here. Headphones, keyboard, mouse. But eventually, we'll have the new PC. No more potato PC. Yo, Inspector with the 10 saying, we got more Ludwig drama. He said, and I quote, I like Street Fighter, but I also like viewers on stage in front of Street Fighter gamers at a tournament. Let's up those numbers, I guess. Love the stream. Thank you very much for the 10. I'll have to look into that. Ludwig, Jellywig, being cringe, nothing new. But look who it is, yo! Kevin, what's good, man? Coming in with a 20 Canadian bucks, saying Marin Kitagawa. I hope you're doing well, man. A very based artist, if you recognize the name, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have you in the stream. Hope you're doing well. All right, I think the stuff is ready here. Let me pull this up. What's that in real money? Actually, you know what? It is a... oh, wrong thing. It is a Saturday Showdown. We should get the precise amount. We just gotta be sure. Okay. It's technically 14 US bucks. We'll keep it a buck. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen. CAD is real money. It is. It counts all the same. But Marin's in the lead now. That's what I do know. Alright, let's get started on this Bungie stuff. So everyone is probably aware of the announcement yesterday. Bungie is doing mass layoffs. And, well, they can do all the corpo jargon they want. They can say this is a reduction in force and that they're reorganizing, and they can blame it on Destiny all they want. At the end of the day, they picked Marathon as their future. It is not working out. And now they have fired over 400 employees. That is really the situation. Bungie has learned absolutely nothing. They failed to learn anything. You know who else fails to learn anything? PlayStation, who on the same day announced that they want to revitalize the market with new live service games. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? As pointed out here. I'll release 1,000 Concords before I let developers make a game people want. You know what? Sign me up for 1,000 more Concords. Right now. I'm down. 100%. 100%. But they never learn. You know who else doesn't learn? The shills. The shills don't learn. They will do everything in their power to defend thy multi-billion-dollar company. In this case, Sony and Bungie. We saw this the other day. This user very mad about Asmongold welcoming home all the laid-off Bungie employees. He says, some of the most talented artists, animators, writers, and coders on the planet, we just lost our jobs. Nearly talentless, that guy, who got lucky enough in content creation to make it. Well, dude, if you're going to be mad at anyone, Be mad at the people who made this game. Marathon is a massive flop. 6,000 in-game players right now. Only a couple months after release. The savior of Bungie here. That's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it at all. Ladies and gentlemen. If you're mad at anyone, be mad at Bungie. Be mad at Sony for all of the decisions they have made that now cost people jobs because they made horrible financial decisions, right? But no, let's be mad at Asmongold for a meme response on Twitter. 400 people have been laid off, ladies and gentlemen, and it appears the number is growing with time. So now what? Well, let's look at some of the employees who have been let go. The first one here, Maiko, who's now an ex-test engineer at Bungie. She, her, cosplayer, Catgirl, all thoughts are mine. And yeah, they're definitely her thoughts. That's for sure. But she had her announcement saying, after nearly 4 years at Bungie, my role has been eliminated as of today. It's truly been a pleasure working for Marathon in Destiny with such talented individuals. Testing at Bungie really was different. I'll miss my team the most. Well, as they say, welcome home. Welcome home. I disable my ad disabler to support Rev channel. Based? I would never ask you guys to turn off stuff like that. That's going above and beyond, ladies and gentlemen. The YouTube monies. You'll love to see it. But, you know what? Before you start feeling bad for individuals like this, because there's a whole narrative, right? Where people are like, how could you celebrate layoffs like this? That's so cruel. How could you do that? Well, you know what? Sometimes you get what you deserve. This is the type of person back in the unemployment line. They said this previously. Atomic Heart honestly looks like a super cool game, and I'm interested in playing it too. Just not sure why the original poster thinks the dev team being made entirely of cis white men makes the game good, when plenty of other modern games are also good and also made up of marginalized people. Anyone talking like this, I don't want them working on my games. I'll be honest. Yeah. I do not want anyone like this working on my games, and I don't feel bad when they suffer professionally for being like this. It's always the cis white men. And of course, whether or not you support a studio, it should be based on how diverse it is, obviously. Right? Obviously. I felt a bit bad for her, but seeing that older tweet from her, nah, don't feel bad at all. She got laid off. Yep. That's how a lot of people feel. And, well, looking around, what happened at Bungie? There was a time where Bungie was a titan in the industry. And the people behind that, they're basically all gone. Basically all gone and replaced with a different look, as they'll say. I think cis white men are marginalized people, therefore we must hire more. I mean, based on the way they're treated in the gaming industry, you would think they need some protections at this point. I mean, we've had countless developers and artists come out and bash cis white men, including their colleagues, their customers, what have you, saying they have no place and they should be hated. It's very, very common. But let's look at another person who's now an ex-Bungie employee. This individual, Honora, she, her, former technical designer working on raids and dungeons for Bungie. Poser Goth, I salute the flags, with a trans flag and a pride flag. How predictable. Well, of course, they got hit with the layoffs as well, and they emphasized that this was the best team at the studio. Culture, skill, and collaboration. Ah, yes. We have seen the Bungie culture in full display, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. And of course the replies, welcome home. Looks like they're getting rid of all the DEI hires. Love to see it. Welcome home. I wonder what went wrong at this company. It's a real mystery. Yeah, guys, I don't know what happened. What happened at Bungie? What could have possibly contributed to this absolute mess of a situation? We'll never know. We'll never know. But here's some more. Another ex-Bungie employee saying, sad to say, I was one of the folks affected by the layoffs today after 3 wonderful years at Bungie. I'd like to thank my team for the amazing experience in getting to ship Marathon alongside you all. And you can see their accounts. Concept artist trans, previously at Bungie on Marathon. And recently they made this post titled, Being a Trans Game Dev in 2026 Be Like, where they're trying to play the victim, showing hate comments that they attribute as the product of bots. I know a lot of these are bots, but remember to please support your fellow queer POC game devs, especially in this climate. Being publicly a minority on the internet can be rather difficult at times, but I think it's important to stay visible as possible and to feel safe. Interesting. Well, welcome home. Good luck on the job search. And weird how they call themselves a concept designer, but also a game dev. You weren't a game dev at Marathon or Destiny. I don't know why you're saying that. And also, when it comes to the arts, don't you guys remember the big controversy where they were accused of stealing arts? And they even compensated the artists they stole from at Marathon? Did we all just forget about that? So I don't really know if experience as some sort of an art designer at Marathon is really the resume builder they believe it is. But then I thought to myself, Eric, save us. Break the trend. He announces that he's been laid off from Bungie. And then... Eric, no! Pronouns in bio again. It's like a 90% chance with these ex-Bungie employees. You are seeing the culture, right? It's almost mandatory. They have pronouns in their bio. It's very obvious. They have quite the culture going on at Bungie. And yeah. Bro, no one cares if you're trans. It's putting your lame ideologies into games. Wake up. Yeah, it's really as simple as that. My pronouns are who cares. You and the majority of gamers, they just don't care. Just make a good product. Now, of course, lost in the shuffle here is Destiny 2. Destiny 2 right now, sitting at over 10 times the current player count of Marathon. Give it up, guys. Come on, give it up for Sony and Bungie. What a great decision. To toss Destiny 2 to the side for Marathon. That's right. What a great decision. That will definitely work out for them. But you can see some other shills, like this guy is shilling for every studio out there, saying there are lots of issues and reasons why we saw the layoffs at Bungie this week. I will say that I don't think the We Want Destiny 3 campaign helped much and probably caused more harm than good. As pointed out here, sit this one out, bud. And here's their previous tweet saying this. The funniest thing about this entire Destiny 2 tantrum is that the game isn't even going offline. You'll literally still be able to play it after the last update, so none of this energy even makes sense. What a goofy hill to die on. The average corpo shill, ladies and gentlemen, they have absolutely no consistency. whatsoever. But I want to point this out as we close. This is a very interesting observation, really proving how easy it is, guys, to make people happy. AAA Gaming in Shambles, an indie game made by two guys in 2 months, Mecha Chameleon, has sold over 10 million copies in less than a month. It's a multiplayer hide-and-seek game where hiding players must paint their plain white characters to match the colors, textures, and lighting around them, while seekers try to find them. That's it. Provide a basic, fun experience with no agenda, no annoying devs, nothing like that. 10 million copies sold. Boom. 10 million copies. These guys are millionaires now. With 2 months of work, they're now millionaires. It really is that simple. If you're talented and you just give people what they want and stop virtue signaling, you have a great chance for success. Yeah, bros literally just became millionaires. Just like that. They can basically retire off of this. They're done. That just goes to show, that should be motivation for every small developer out there, especially indies. All it takes is one. You just got to hit once, and you could be set for life. But yeah, that is the Bungie stuff. Little update there. We're going to read some Shupas. Catch up on that. Remniarch using that YouTube sticker right there, sticker moment, with the dollar Canadian, showing that the Canada Bucks are in fact very real and accepted. Thank you for that. And Retro with a 5 saying, I grew up with Bungie playing Halo 1 through 3, then eventually Destiny 2, though I stopped playing it after the company started getting political. 5 for Marin. That's you and so many others. And so many others. They used to be so great. It's such a shame. But 5 more for Marin Kitagawa. And let's see here. Retro with another 2 saying Bungie lost their cord and didn't stick the landing. Ba-doom-tsh. Very nice. Thank you for the 2. And Obi-Wan Shinobi with the 5 saying Michael Jackson was the first to announce his pronouns. He. Lizard. There you go. There you go, folks. Factual information right there. You'll love to see it. And Al Jung Belong with the 5 saying, sorry I'm late, here's my Rev and Straub tax. Thank you very much. Our version of the IRS will let you go on this day. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. What shall I talk about next? And you know what? I should update the standings here, ladies and gentlemen. Also, we hit the daily super chat goal. The daily super chat goal. Epic lizard time. Here it goes. How'd I do, chat? Lizard moments. I was just freestyling. Yeah, I can't imagine someone coming into the chat for the first time during moments like that. And they're probably like, this is the greatest stream ever. It's true. There's your epic lizard moments, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. You are welcome. Now let me update the Saturday Showdown. Let's see here. Nico. Briefly. Tying things up. Oh my gosh, I think I got the hiccups. And that was not intentional. 1 second. I think we're good. I do not need hiccups on stream. I don't know where that came from. A free lizard, you're welcome. But wait. We did get some more. Let me play this real quick. And Corbin with the 5 saying, I plan on making a video game one day. Still have to figure out how, but know that I'm going to stay a based chud when I do. Also, Nico. 5 more for Nico, and I believe in you. If you're a part of this community, you're going to make a banger for sure. Maybe one too many lizards caught your throat. That's what I think happened. Yo, and Benjamin with the 2 saying you should react to the new Skyrim is woke video. You know what? Maybe I'll do that on Monday. I've seen that. I haven't watched it. Because we're already going to watch the Shoe on Head video on Monday. So maybe we'll add that in too. I think that'll be a nice React Andy kind of day. But let's go back to the Versus series, the Saturday Showdown. That is an update, another 5 for Nico, which puts Nico at 84, ladies and gentlemen, and Marin. Let's see here. At 98. It's still anyone's ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 98 to 84. Wait. 79. Yeah, 98. I almost got my math wrong. There we go. 98 to 84. So again, we got a little bit of time left. Still got probably like a half an hour. Who will be the winner of today's Saturday Showdown? Make your voices heard with your super chat message. We're going the full length, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna see who's the winner. But I think next we will talk about Avatar. Avatar, the next flop, I guess. Let me just get my pages set up here. Rev, please put my 10 in supers to Nico. Okay. Will do. 10 more to Nico. I'll add that into the next tally, the next update. I got you. It's over, the audience has spoken. No, it's not over till I say it's over. It's not over yet. And you never know. You never know if the oil's gonna show up too. We've had some oil barons make their votes very clear. And to make sure that their waifu wins. But okay, let's move on. Oh goodness. Wait a second. First of all, 07's in the chat for Freedom Fries with the $50 super chat, the 50 bones, saying you pick the next $10 super chatter picks for me. Wait a second. Wait, so I pick or does the next $10 person pick? Instructions unclear, at least to me. But 07s, thank you, Freedom Fries. I await for your clarification. Wait. It might be decided. The next person, the next 10, which is B-Wood with the $10 super chats, which means 60 total dollars is going to Nico Yazawa. The annoying Nico appreciates it. Look at her face. Look at that. She is so happy this happened. Extremely happy this happened. But thank you so much, Freedom Fries and B-Wood. And also I saw, where is it? Someone else wanted to switch their thing. Where was it? Where was it? Oh, also put my 5 for Nico. Okay, I saw your 5 earlier. You're allowed to do that. So 5 more. That's right. That's right. And then also, Gabe with the 2 saying, what did they do to my May and Azula waifus? Yeah, they're not looking too hot. They're not looking too great, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot lie. I cannot tell a lie. This adaptation is looking abysmal. But thank you guys for the supers. And we will do another tally in a minute. Gabe with the 2 saying Nico versus Rev next stream. Could be. Could be. Absolutely. But we'll get another tally. Let's talk about this right here. And then we will circle back to the good stuff and updates. So, ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you, I discovered there was a Avatar: The Last Airbender series on Netflix by discovering how bad the second season is. I didn't even know there was a first season, but it appears that Netflix is once again fumbling the bag when it comes to a live-action adaptation. This one is totally brutal, and with the previews we have seen on social media, even promoted by Netflix itself, it looks atrocious. Honestly, a lot of it looks like it's AI generated, and a lot of the dialogue and the sequences that we're seeing don't even make sense for the storyline and the characters that are being portrayed. But of course, in true fashion, IGN is out here praising it, saying Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 builds on the first season with better pacing, a more cohesive tone, and even some improvements on the original series, with a whopping 8. That's right, an 8 out of 10, a great rating for IGN, so you know it's absolute garbage. Now let's get into this clip right here. Gang's all here. Season 2 is now playing, and I'm going to play a few of these clips, and if Netflix ends up striking me down for this, I am going to be very disappointed. Not surprised, but disappointed. So just watch this, volume off. It is a catastrophe. Absolutely brutal. Guys, if you told me this was AI generated, I would believe you. I would genuinely believe this is AI generated. This looks so bad. In fact, this looks like a high school production. It looks like someone's high school project. They and their buddies got some costumes from Spirit Halloween or something and decided to film on their phone. That's how it looks. It's atrocious. It looks really bad. Okay, they thought this went hard. It definitely did not. How did they make it worse than the live action movie? Listen, never underestimate the power of Netflix to make things pure, unadulterated garbage. But the replies are not impressed, and did you expect them to be? Seriously, I've seen AI videos made with Seedance that had more aura than this. This looks like some high school film project with someone using Adobe After Effects. There's no freaking way someone thought this looked cool. I love this cast so much. And the Avatar account says, "That's my gang for real." Oh, guys, how do you do, fellow children type energy from Netflix and Avatar right there. But then we got this comment saying we got Fat Azula before GTA 6, which I kind of disagree with. I don't even think she looks like that. I just think the costumes are atrocious. That's my honest opinion. I don't think she actually is fat in any way. I think the outfits are just so bad and so unappealing, it makes her look bad. Like, that's the main takeaway, right? They just look bad. They're unappealing. They're boxy. They don't look good whatsoever. But, of course, that's what people are really running with, okay? The images look really underwhelming, to say the least. The only way you can tell Netflix slop from AI slop in the big 2026 is that Netflix slop has fat people in it. And that's what they actually believe. And again, I look at this and I don't think that. I just think the outfit looks terrible. It just looks really bad. The production of everything looks really bad. But then again, looking at the overall picture, I mean, what do you say? They might be phenomenal actresses, but bruh, not even close. I mean, look at this. Are you kidding me? They just don't even look right. They're just not good comparisons whatsoever. Like, no, this is not good whatsoever. But then Netflix be like, Asians all look the same anyways, just hire whoever. Yeah, that's pretty much what they did. Again, it looks like a high school project. Doesn't look good at all. But it could have been HBO. Hey, it could have been HBO, ladies and gentlemen. It always can be worse. All right, so maybe we dodged a second bullet, an even greater bullet with this one. But of course, Toph has arrived. Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2 is now on Netflix. And this is the introduction of her character, and I gotta say, she is auraless. And there's a lot about this scene that just generally makes no sense, right? They're even getting proposed notes, all right? Saying Toph can't see in the sand. Which is, yeah, a very big flaw with the scene. Because she seems to have no issue. It literally makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. And the comments, brutal. There is no live action. Are they fighting in sand? Toph literally said she can't see in sand and it makes everything fuzzy. Did these people watch the show at all? Not gonna lie, looks like it was made with AI. 5,500 likes. So, you decided to have Toph fight on sand when early in the series, Toph hated sand because it nerfed her ability to see through her bending. Yeah, they don't really seem to know what they're doing here. It is a lack of attention to detail once again. You can see a quote here saying overcoming her fear of sand is part of Toph's character development, and now she can just see in it and has already mastered sand bending, I guess. Imagine messing up the character lore in your adaptation so badly that it gets community noted. LOL, LMAO, even they removed the community note. This person had to edit because it was live for a second, but then eventually they got it removed. Netflix made the boss call. They set things right, and the note has been removed. But don't worry, there are the yuppies here to gobble up this series. Toph is so rude. LMAO. Now let's give this scene a listen. Netflix, don't punish me. I'm going to listen to just a very quick sequence here.
What's your name? Toph. Beifong.
I dislike your family greatly.
Yeah, well, me too.
What? What are we even doing, ladies and gentlemen? And people are praising this? This dialogue reeks. It reeks, ladies and gentlemen. And you can see the comments. What the actual dog crap is this? Why is Kyoshi there? Why the F is Toph in that library? It takes so little to impress Netflix fans. What the F is this dog crap dialogue, and what did they do to Toph? You are actual cattle if you like this. Yeah, what is going on? Another quote saying this is literally a bad fan fiction. Why is she in the spirit library? What is this Tumblr-esque dialogue, man? I dislike your family greatly. Who are your parents? Exactly. What is this scene even for? This is so lame, man. And here's another quote saying, why is Kyoshi talking to Toph and asking her about her own reincarnation? What the hell is happening? Doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense now, does it? And here's another quote saying the Avatar fandom is large enough. We can actually donate money and sue Netflix. And hey, they want some help on that. A class action lawsuit against Netflix. That sounds like an absolute banger to me. But overall, this is a disaster. This looks terrible. We'll have to wait and see on how the reception of this in terms of viewers ends up being. But yeah, this looks very bad, low quality, and everything surrounding this right now is 90% people dunking on it, 10% brainless cattle just enjoying this product because they're supposed to. That's really all there is to it. Okay. So there you have that, folks. There you have it. But then, let me catch up with the supers, ladies and gentlemen. You got 5 more from Retro saying, activists with Netflix's Avatar are trying to rewrite our history to say those who love the OG series are problematic despite the Korra shills. Very correct. And Z-Man with the big $20 super chat saying, good God, this series has been the worst thing that's ever happened to my Avatar. Season 1 was somehow even worse than the Shyamalan movie. And Season 2 is somehow worse. It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Then we got 10 from What the Heck saying, they're really stomping on my childhood crushes. Isn't that, I mean, that is a torturous fate. To see something you enjoyed so much in your childhood just completely and utterly butchered. And Z-Man with the additional 10 saying, but yeah, Netflix does it again. Also, you decide who gets both Rev, and then maybe you can go put up the groceries. Hey, do not mock the way that Straub talks. Sometimes you gotta put it up. I have accidentally said multiple times, put it up, and I am ashamed. Ashamed of myself. You know what I'm gonna do with the 10 to make it an interesting competition? I think Marin has fallen behind now, so I'm gonna keep it interesting. I'm gonna give 10 to Marin Kitagawa. I'm gonna keep the competition going. That's right. Yo, and Rocket coming in with a 5,000 ARS saying, why do these companies keep destroying our beloved franchises? Leave them alone, you pathetic slop makers. Also, Marin for life. Well, thank you, Rocket, for the 5,000 ARS and for the 50 gifted earlier. I still appreciate that greatly. But let me get the official. I think that's like 4. We'll call it 4 for Marin. There we go. Thank you, dude. 4 more for Marin. And then, oh my goodness, 07's in the chat for Freedom Fries. Oh boy. with the $100 super, saying, Gabe in the chat, you do the honors. Oh, this is gonna be like the ball game, guys. Oh my goodness. That's some pressure for Gabe. What is Gabe gonna say? Everything is about to come down to this. Gabe, you hold all the cards right now. What's the counts? I want to make it interesting. Okay, good. That's a very educated statement right there. Let me read these and catch up fully. Gabe, you also had the 5 saying, no one can see past avatars except the avatar. What are we doing? Exactly. And Benjamin with the 2 saying, please leave my childhood TV shows alone. Nico. That's 2 more for Nico. Thank you for that. And then 10 for Z-Man saying, no, I wasn't mocking Straub. I was trying to convert you to the right way of speaking. Also, Marin, it is. All right. Thank you for the 10. And I will never succumb to the put it up mentality. You put it away, not put it up. Ridiculous. And lastly, we got Emotionless Catastrophe with another 5 saying, Straub and Rev says Desu Advent Internet Adventures, working title. Netflix adaptation better be lore accurate. Last one from me this week. 5 more for Nico. Thank you very much for that. And let's get a tally, ladies and gentlemen. So, we'll start with Marin here. We're adding on 24. So that's 122 for Marin. Nico with the... Ooh. Oh, goodness. How the turns have tabled. Nico's up to 166. Gabe, where does that $100 go now? I know it's very close. It's very close. Oh, jeez. Everyone's just staring at Gabe. Everyone's just staring. This one is for you, Nani. The dono goes to Nico! Ladies and gentlemen, that is 100 smackaroos for Nico Yazawa. $44 deficit. Make that 144. Nico now sitting strong at $266. Nani and Gabe, and of course, Freedom Fries tag teaming for that one right there. Boo, no Nico, Marin for life. Marin's got some ground to cover. It's never impossible. It's never impossible. Next week we do Nico versus Rev. Maybe. Malin, you're next. The next battle. Okay. I like this. I like the super chats allowing someone else to choose. That's a nice little perk we're doing. But let me catch up on these right here. Kurisu Tanaki with a 2 saying Rev is the better waifu. I'm the original. Nico is the copycat. This is true. This is true. Total gremlin victory. That's right. And Freedom Fries with another 2 saying Nico for me. That's a cherry. And a... Is that supposed to be... Kirsha, maybe? Possibly. And then a lizard. I know that one. For sure. That's 2 more for Nico. I think at this point, I'll put it towards the next tally. And that'll be the last one. That'll be the last one. We're gonna cover one more thing. And that'll be it. And 3 point down with the 20 NOK saying, are lib Zionists not liking woke accepted here? What? Who are all these people? I don't even know that scenario popping up in here. What are we talking about? But that's not a vote for anyone. That's for sure. But yes, Nico leads by 144 doll hairs. Marin stands. This might be your last chance. And then she's out of this waifu war. She's out of here. That's right. That's right. Let me pull up the last thing and we'll do the final tally. Please don't reload my tabs. I'll take the non-votes if you don't want them. Emotionless Catastrophe putting their hat in the ring to be a decider. That's got to be a lot of fun. You're playing with house money at that point. Based? Oh gosh, I'll never lose hope early again. Yeah, it was looking grim for Nico. It really was. But she pulled through. Execute Order 266. Follow up to a joke I saw. There you go. Alright. Okay, everything's looking good. Alright, give me 1 second, folks. Don't do anything funny while I'm gone. Just gotta ask Strop something real quick. And then I'll be back for the final story for today. I'm watching you. 1 minute. Scatter! Scatter, Rev is back. The boss man's back. You thought you were slick. Look at you guys lizard posting while I was gone. How dare you? I couldn't be a part of it. You just had to do a little lizard party on your own. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Yo, and Retro, thank you for the 5, saying, outside of Avatar, Netflix has ruined a lot of IPs like Cowboy Bebop, Scott Pilgrim, Devil May Cry, Tomb Raider, and Splinter Cell. 5 for the blonde. All right. Woo! Marin's making a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Marin stands. Do you believe? I'm trying to gas you guys up. Marin stands. Do you believe? This is your chance. The lizard evolution is over. Okay, I'm back. And Panther with the 2 saying, for the Rev cosplayer. Fun fact, we did get a Rev cosplay like many moons ago. Multiple years ago. So it did happen. It did happen. 141 down. Listen. The will of the people will speak in the end. Okay? But let's get into the last story. Is it weird that I say story? We're on the last story. You guys enjoying my stories today? Rev stands. Stands. I am standing at attention. Do you believe? There's another Marin whale out there I never underestimate. Look. Last week we had someone go hard for Marin, okay? And carry Marin to the finish line. It could happen again. It could happen. Yeah, fun Rev stories. But let's see here. Let's pull this up. Have you guys ever heard about KDS? Kirsha derangement syndrome. Now there's a lot of them. There's Asmongold. There's Rev. There's many others. But I owe a lot of content to Kirsha derangement syndrome. For sure. It's been an endless cycle. Pretty much every week or two. There's someone, especially in the VTubing scene, whining about Kirsha. And it's always great content. Yes, Foxu, Munya, all that stuff. There you go. Can we get some Munyas in the chat? I think we can. I think we can. But, there's 2 situations to talk about here. This first one is a bit sad. I think this is an example of the freaks on Twitter bullying people into submission and people thinking the approval of psychos on Twitter is so important they have to change their behavior and how they post. This VTuber named Lottie, a very small VTuber. This is kind of their post at the conclusion of all the drama, saying these past few days have been difficult. I just wanted to share something unexpected I encountered on my travels and had to share, not knowing what I was getting myself into since I haven't been in the community for a long time. Now you would think, surely, there was something very crazy they posted, something that would warrant such a post. Well, no, this was the post. Now, I saw this unfold 3-4 days ago, and I knew as soon as I saw it, it was going to be something interesting. So, me with the fastest screenshots in the West, I luckily screenshotted everything, because everything would get deleted, but we got it here to talk. So, always get your screenshots, right? So the Lottie person says, I was driving and saw this VTuber billboard. Of course, it's got the Foxu on there. Okay? And it looks like someone in her community went crazy and got the billboard all set up. We've seen this before. And I will say this, if you want to make people see, put up a billboard. Goodness. Does it make people mad? Right? Billboard solos again, that's right. So, this is a very innocuous post. it's not even showing any sort of support for her. It's just like, hey, I'm a VTuber, and I just saw a VTuber on a billboard. Isn't that crazy? Well, of course, people are crashing out. The replies filled like this, just 3 in a row here. Oh boy, not this grifter. Yeah, she's a bigot grifter. Oh, it's the bigot. I wouldn't pay her any mind. Oh, you guys pay her lots of mind, actually. And again, with the word grifter, they love using that word, even when it makes no sense. Even when it makes no sense. You know, me and Kirsha and others get called grifters every single day, which makes no sense. Because number one, they can't even prove that we are lying about our beliefs for some monetary gain, which is what a grifter does. And also, we're in the worst grift ever. We're in a grift where our opinions lose us opportunities financially. But we just like to speak our minds, right? But here's another user saying, oh hey, it's the right-wing grift VTuber who said ICE wasn't doing enough when they offed Americans and hangs out with Asmongold and Tectone. Yes, we see that magical grift word again. And clearly they don't like ICE and they don't like Asmongold and Tectone. So I guess, well, associating with people makes you problematic. Which is weird because this person follows me. That makes no sense. But also, they're a VTuber manager. And I've been meaning to have a more extended conversation about this. But unless you're a VTuber with multiple thousand concurrent viewers, you don't need a manager. Like 99% of the time, there's nothing they're going to provide you that is probably worth it. No chance. Yeah, the $6.20 for a gallon of gas was crazy, by the way. I want to point that out, too. Because, like, everywhere I've gone, it's like in the 3s. All right, it got up to 4 for a bit there, but 6? What's going on over there? But basically, they try to give advice, to help people with their operations, and it's like, what do you mean? Kirsha hangs out with Asmongold. Gonna need a link for that. Yeah, she wishes. That's the thing. She wishes she could hang out with her king. But as far as I know, they have not been together in real life. It's a tragedy for her. But I believe one day, maybe, who knows, their paths may cross. Oh, how the internet would erupt at that. But, yeah, VTuber manager acting like a true VTuber manager by crashing out on other talents on Twitter. Terrible advice. Then I saw this person, of course, responding to the now deleted post saying, she's unfortunately a right-wing grifter, hella transphobic and racist, from what I've seen. Which, yeah, I'm sure that's the truth, because when you get to a point where you're so delusional, everything you see is transphobic and racist, it would probably happen whenever you see someone you disagree with. Everything they do is somehow transphobia, racism. And I try to go to this person's page. I'm like, what's their link tree look like? You know, am I going to find anything funny on here? Instead, I got a dopamine overload. What in the bright colors is this? This is giving me a headache, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll just leave it at that. Alright? But here's another reply saying, ain't she that weirdo, anti-woke grifter? And the original poster says, I don't know who she is. I haven't been in the VTuber community for a year now. And then someone else clarifies who the real Kirsha is, saying she's like center-right and more politically outspoken than most VTubers. That's about it, really. The rest is just a fun time with video games, reading articles, regard noises, and pterodactyl screeching. Come watch if you like, stay for the things you enjoy. And honestly, pretty good description. Yeah, the regard noises, the pterodactyl screeching, video games, and reading articles. Foxu News. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. But the damage was done. The original poster would quote themselves saying, when I posted the billboard photo, I wasn't aware of the controversy involving the VTuber. I shared it because I happened to see it in public. Not a statement of support. I've since learned more about the situation, and I absolutely do not support anyone that spreads hates. They crumbled. Now, I don't really have too much to say about this individual because you have to understand what it's like to be in their shoes. All right, not saying they made the right decision here, but they clearly care about what all these other VTubers think, and they're being blasted for supporting, quote-unquote, supporting Kirsha by talking about her. They're told she's so awful and bigoted, and they just buy it, because why would anyone lie on the internet, right? But this is basically the terrible ending. The terrible ending. You hate to see it. But here's one of the additional replies and why we're kind of at the state we're in right now. Ew! This is one of the most despised VTubers in this space. She's a right-wing extremist and a blatant racist who uses her platform to crap on immigrants and attack others who don't fall in line with her politics. The irony is astounding because they literally made this VTuber fall in line the second they posted wrong think person, right? They stomped that out immediately. But don't worry, guys. We have this individual to clear the airwaves and provide proof that Kirsha is a monster. Saying, Kirsha defenders, when they ask you for proof she's a Nazi. Defender, she's not a Nazi, but her Nazi conspiracy theory is true, actually, and being a Trump fan doesn't make you a Nazi. Okay, Nazi. That's right. If you have a disingenuous conversation when you keep accusing someone of being a Nazi and they deny it, and then you just call them a Nazi again, that means they are a Nazi. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very intelligent individuals, but you can see their logic is so tiring. Why not just call them a Nazi, the original poster? Because that's how they work. It's not about facts, it's about vibes. It's about vibes, okay? If you just feel like something is something, then that something is that something. It's really that simple. It's just exhausting, but you can see one of the replies saying, tell me you don't watch Kirsha's streams or content and just mindlessly regurgitate slanderous lies about someone you dislike because it gives you the good feels without telling us. And they say, why would I ever watch a Kirsha stream? They said it. They said the thing. No, I've never actually watched the content. But I do know they're a Nazi. Because I said so. Incredible. Incredible stuff. This really sums it up, ladies and gentlemen. But, some people were making jokes about this because Straub on her stream earlier reacted to my video. It was a Straub Revception. But apparently this person was in one of my videos about a week ago, and they decided to post about it, saying, made it into another Rev video. Hi, Rev. You're literally a bottom feeder, living off the scraps of the VTuber community's drama, grifting into far-right reactionary slop because the content wasn't flowing as fast as you'd hoped. Your girlfriend is a hypocrite with skeletons in her closet. Oh, geez. Well, besides the seething in the top portion, my girlfriend is a hypocrite? Guys, my wife has been demoted. She's been acting up. She's been demoted to girlfriend status. I'm very sorry. It is what it is. You can see Straub in the chat, condolences for her. It's kind of crazy. Like, if you're mad enough to randomly inject my wife into your crash out, at least please get the lore right. Put some respect on the Straub name. That's my wife, buddy. That's my wife, it's. I'm sorry, I gotta use their preferred pronouns. That's my wife, it's. Okay? Rip Straub, sorry. You've been demoted. You've been demoted to girlfriend status, but you can see apparently Straub has skeletons in her closets. Must be close to Halloween or something for the decorations, but someone says, what kind of skeletons, and can't people become better and change? And then the original poster says, she has objectively become worse. Which makes no sense. How does someone have skeletons in their closet if they've gotten worse? It's not how any of that works, honestly. But when someone asks for proof, enlighten me how she is worse. They got no answer. They got no answer, ladies and gentlemen, but of course, you can see the type of individual we're dealing with here. They clipped the portion of my video talking about their tweet. Of course, it was a 30-second segment. I just forgot about them afterwards, but it was so valuable to them. It is their pinned tweets. They are marking themselves. They're branding themselves with my content, and I have to say, that is some super fan behavior. I love it. Okay, keep spreading the good word. Keep spreading the content out there. It is much appreciated. But that's basically that situation. Went a little more in-depth in the video, but you get the point, okay? These people are deranged. They have great derangement syndromes directed towards all the problematic VTubers out there. But, guys, we're in the dawn of the Saturday Showdown. The lights are about to go out on Marin Kitagawa. The lights are about to go out. I'll give a couple more minutes, and then the stream will end, and we will know the winner. Marin stands. TikTok is all I can say. But we got 5 more from Cooj saying, I keep pausing like it's a normal video. What is wrong with me? Also, the unchanging profile picture. Be honest, you probably forgot about it. Listen, I can't change the YouTube profile picture at this point. It's been too long. Okay? I made a promise. Give me 5 minutes. Oh, that's right. That's right. If Nico wins, Straub has a promise to fulfill. That's right. We can hang for a couple extra minutes. We can do it. But thank you for the 5. I'm also guessing you want 5 towards Nico. I would assume that's what's going on here. So 5 more for Nico. Then we got Malin with the 100 DOP saying, my condolences, Straub. Yes. Please have Straub on your minds during these difficult times where she has been demoted to girlfriend status. It's tough sledding. It's tough sledding out there. Yo, in Retro with another $10 super chat saying, funny these idiots say those like Kirsha alt-rights or just common sense people have what the left calls dog whistles when they have their own DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, aka divide and conquer. Oh, of course. Facts for sure, and when it comes to the very progressive people, they are the most discriminatory and often racist people you will ever see. Everything that resembles common sense is alt-rights. It's bigotry. Everything that's about freedom of speech, freedom of opportunity, all of that, unacceptable. We need to divide people and tell certain populations they're not good enough on their own. They need a boost. Because without that boost, they're clearly incompetent. Well, apparently it is bigotry to say we should treat everyone the same no matter their race or identity whatsoever. That is bigotry nowadays. If you're opposed to things like DEI, you're a bigot. If you think people have equal value on their own, bigotry. It's a crazy world we live in, guys. Crazy world. But let's get an updated tally. Not moving the needle too much here, but this is for the sake of preservation. Nico is now up to 273. Imagine Nico wins and Rev changes his profile picture to Marin. Ah, man. When hell freezes over. That's right. And then, Marin. Up to 127. There's still time. Hopium. Hope pills. What's the gap here? 146. Just 146 away, guys, from making it an even ball game. Well, basically, you have until Straub gets in here. Because if Nico wins, Straub's going to deliver the 3-word phrase you've all been waiting for. That's right, extended drum roll. The drum roll might go on for a few minutes, few seconds, I don't even know. But I'll pop back here until then. I will not hide any longer. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, just to give you a little roadmap of what's going to happen here. Tomorrow will be a day off, of course. Sundays, that's the new thing for me. Taking a little day off. Very fun stuff. And then Monday, we will be back with the regular videos, of course, but also I will stream on Monday. And I think on Monday, we're going to react to the new Shoe on Head video. Someone also mentioned the Skyrim is Woke 2 video. Might watch that as well. And of course, catch up with some weekend stuff because, as I'm sure everyone's aware, the second I take a day off, big stuff, I'm sure big stuff will happen tomorrow. But it is not my time or place. It just occurred to me that the Rev profile pic is Nico. Brother. Listen. It hasn't moved. It hasn't changed in 10 years. It is omnipresent on this channel. Okay, the needle's not going to move. I don't think I'll ever change it. It would feel wrong. I just pressed lizard by accident. Here you go. I was fidgeting. No rest for the wicked. No. Frieren failed. Tatsumaki failed. And now Marin failed. I know. Tomorrow will be a dozen RDS cases. Don't give them any ideas, okay? We still have no two-time champion. We really don't. We have not had a single repeat champion. That's crazy. They can't make it. Flying lizard. Free lizards in this economy. Look. It's been a great stream. I just did it again. I'm a fidgeter, guys. I can't help it. And unfortunately, I'm fidgeting with our friend here. What can I do? Oh, shoot. I didn't even realize you can pop the lizard off. Oh, geez. How do I gotta squeeze it back on. That's why I got the extras there. So that is Nico on the profile picture, not Rev. I feel dumb. Listen. If you didn't know, you might be confused. If you came in all these years later after the VTuber model, you might actually be confused. You might not even know. If Rev takes down his picture, the channel is going to implode. Everyone's going to leave. No one will recognize me anymore. Very, very painful stuff. You know, I'm gonna go see where Straub is. I'm gonna see where Straub is. Okay? 1 second. No funny business while I'm gone. All right, folks. She has arrived. Do you want to take over the tracking just to do it extra special?
Extra special.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The moment you've all been waiting for. Well, let me give a countdown. And we're done. The waifu war is done. Okay? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We'll read that one after. 3, 2, 1. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Nico is the big winner. The Saturday Showdown belongs to the annoying girl. Congratulations, Nico Yazawa, dethroning
Yippee!
Marin Kitagawa. And now here's your reward.
Nico, Nico, nee.
Beautiful. It was worth every super chat, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Yippee.
You fought hard.
Good job.
Nico stands, and that is your reward.
Good job.
Congratulations. Total gremlin victory.
That's what they say.
All right, let's wrap this up. But first, thank you for the 5 Miyasu. Everyone say hello to Miyasu, saying, showing some love. Hope you get some good rest on Sunday. That is exactly the plan. Lots of grass touching, no internets, no drama, just peace, as we all deserve. But hope you're doing well, Mia. And everyone, that is going to do it for today's stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the supers. Thank you for the memberships, the gifted memberships. And most importantly, thank you for showing up and having fun on another great Saturday Showdown. I hope you guys have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or night. God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And peace.